Okay, now, story of Drive Angry 3D is, when I say simple, I mean really, really simple. It is about Milton, who is played by Nicolas Cage, of course, and he is just in hell, and one day he decides, you know what, I don't like hell. I'm going to use my get out of hell free card and leave, and get the hell out of here, get it? But no, that's not the real reason why he gets out of hell. He gets out of hell because he witnesses his daughter being killed by this big Satan-worshipping douchebag, and he also watches him. I guess he talked about like, oh, we're gonna sacrifice his granddaughter now, Nicolas Cage's granddaughter, who is the daughter of his daughter, obviously, and he's gonna sacrifice his granddaughter because that's what people that worship Satan do. They sacrifice little babies. Like, I mean, we've seen that plenty of times in movies, I guess. I don't know. So Milton is going to kill this motherfucker, just to put it all out there. And on his journey, he picks up this girl played by Amber Heard, who helps him out during his adventure, and he has Satan's assistant, or accountant as he likes to call himself, played by William Fichtner, come and try to stop him. And pretty much it's the devil's assistant's chasing Milton. Milton is chasing this guy. This guy is running away from this guy to go sacrifice a baby. So there you go. There's the story. So anyway, there you go. That's the story. I actually, it's what it is. It's an okay story. It's not great. But anyway, let's get on to the positives of the film. Usually I always start off with the acting for positives, but guess what? I am starting with the acting with the positives. You know why? Because it was so much fun in this film. You could definitely tell everybody was having fun with it, and I was too, with the acting at least. I don't know about everything else. Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. He's awesome. He's not that crazy in this role, but he's still pretty badass, and he delivers his lines with just the right amount of cheddar cheese. And he does a great job in this. Amber Heard was really good in the film also. She plays the kind of like the badass chick. She's on the poster. She's badass in the movie. She's really good. William Fichtner plays the assistant of the devil, or the accountant. Like, he's pretty much the assistant. He goes and gets everybody that died and brings them to hell, pretty much. And if I ever died and went to hell, I would have loved this guy to come and pick me up, because this guy is so freaking cool. He's so suave, and he has that face. William Fichtner has that face that if I ever saw him in real life, I would come up to him and say, "You are awesome, and I love you," and then give him a hug, and he'll probably snap my neck and blow my legs off. But, why not? Anyway, he's great in this film. He's really, really good. He delivers his lines so expertly. I don't even want to say that for a movie called Drive Angry, but really, he was great. He's hilarious. Other people, Billy Burke plays the bad guy. He's pretty good. David Morse plays a friend of Milton, or Nicolas Cage's character. And he's good too. You've seen him before. He was in Disturbia. He played the main guy. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's the killer." So he's really good. Everybody else is great. The acting is just fun and awesome. So, yeah. Surprisingly, another positive is the 3D. The 3D was really good, mostly because it was shot in 3D, but I was actually hoping this was actually converted from 2D to 3D and still look good, so it could pretty much laugh in the face of everything that was converted from 2D to 3D and say, "This is how it's done, bitches." Anyway, the 3D was great. Everything looked great. It didn't dim it down or anything like a lot of 3D does, where you just can't tell what the hell you're looking at sometimes. It was great. It was fun. I loved it. I really did. I really did love the 3D. The movie's actually really, really funny in a lot of parts, mostly with William Fichtner's character, because he delivers his lines with, like I said before, expertly, and some of the lines, if someone else said it, it would have been just cheesy and kind of lame, but when he did it, it was great. Like, there's just a line where he looks at this guy, and he just comes out of nowhere. He wasn't talking to him before. He just comes up and says, "Hey, fat fuck." And I was like, oh, that was so genius. And there's I don't even want to spoil it anymore. I'm just going to say he was hilarious. Other parts in here were pretty funny too. Nicolas Cage has some lines where it was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And it's kind of cheesy, but funny. And overall, the movie is pretty freaking funny. The movie's action is also really, really good. Some of the car chases are really cool. There's like 2 or 3 in the movie, and they're really cool. The blood, the gore, and the violence is just awesome. Like, some of it's a lot of CG here and there, but that's fine because it's in 3D, so it's like CG effect, blood. Oh my god, it's coming! Oh my god, it's close. It's like, hey, it's in my face. Yeah, gross. So I don't know what that was. I sound like droopy for a second. So I really like the car chases and the violence, and some of the just like the shootouts that they have in the film was really cool. The last scene in the film is really just insane. He just drives his car and just like mauls people to death, half naked women everywhere he's shooting, and it's like, and Nicolas Cage, by the way, and it's just freaking awesome. Some of the action is awesome. Some of the scenes are kind of boring here and there, though. I'll get to that later on, and when I mean some, I mean maybe like one. So really think about it right now. Really, I wasn't that bored, so I'll talk about that in the negatives, though. So overall, that's my positives. If I had to say one other thing, the movie was just fun. Really, there is a couple parts where it gets slow, but I'll talk about that in a second. But really, the movie was just fun. Let me talk about the negatives, though, because I'm obviously trying to really get to that. Okay, now one of the negatives in the film, like I just said about 2 seconds ago, but for me it was like 5 minutes ago, was that the film gets a little boring in a couple parts here and there. Like they try to do some emotional kind of stuff, like he really wants his daughter to be revenged instead, avenged, not revenged, avenged, and it's kind of lame, some parts here and there. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But when it didn't, it was kind of And also the dialogue is cheesy, like I keep saying. So if you're not really that kind of guy that likes cheesy dialogue, then you're not gonna like this film because it's very, very cheesy. But me, I love cheesy dialogue, and I love it when it's handled so perfectly. Definitely by William Fichtner. But I'm gonna keep mentioning his name. I'm in love with that guy. Okay. Don't judge me. Anyway, that's really all the negatives I could think of, really. It was still a fun movie. It was action-packed. The acting was really fun. The story was okay. Not great, of course, but, it was there just to be there. And, of course, it's a B movie. So if you don't think this is going to be a bad movie in the sense of bad meaning really good, and they knew it was going to be bad, then you're not going to have a fun time. But if you knew this was going to be bad and you just want to have fun, you're going to really enjoy this film, like I did. If I had to give it a score, I'd give it an 8 point. You know what? I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. I know I give it high scores, but I think it deserves it. So overall, there's my review for Drive Angry 3D. Go check it out. Really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. So there you go. Drive Angry 3D gets an 8.8 out of 10, bitches.